Hello there guys, what is going on? Son of Chelsea, back here again for my review and thoughts on Chelsea's 3-1 victory over Swansea in the Premier League today. I was at the game and to be honest, at times it was stressful. We pretty much dominated the game other than that one chance that they had, which they scored from. But overall, coming out of the game, very happy. It's a crucial 3 points considering when the likes of Arsenal, Manchester City, Man United aren't playing this weekend. So I think it was really important and critical, especially the way the game went against a Swansea team who've done really well. I thought going into the game it wasn't going to be as easy as people thought or suspected. Swansea, had gone to a lot of places like Liverpool, like Manchester City, and put in really good performances. So I expected a difficult game, but going in straight away with the team lineup, I personally have been crying out like I did in my Wolves review about Fabregas starting. Finally, he got his opportunity, his 300th Premier League appearance, and what an appearance it was. Cesc Fabregas for me today was class. I love Matic. I think he's had an amazing season, and I think he did a brilliant job when he came on later on in the game. But Fabregas for me, all about him today, running that midfield, scoring a goal, a very Lampard-esque goal. I'll come on to Lampard in a minute, but he scored that goal, and I think we played really good football. We looked really on it for the first 20 minutes of the game. Even for most of the first half, I thought we looked on it. The pace of the game was going well. Our passing looked sharp and neat. Fabregas, Hazard, Pedro, Costa, all sort of working well. Really, Swansea couldn't get into the game, and really it was looking like one of those games where we could potentially go on, win 1-2, 3-0, in this game. It was an impressive first half, basically all the way up to the last 30 seconds where we gave away a free kick and just absolutely terrible marking, especially from that position. I remember when the free kick was given away, I thought it's annoying, but it's not the best position. Trust me, it was a great ball whipped in from Sigurdsson, who's probably Swansea's best player, and I really rate, but marking was all wrong, and it does leave, with a little bit of concern, because recently headed goals from open play or just from set pieces have been coming. Dele Alli, Giroud. I've heard other stats that quite a few of the goals we conceded have been headers. So, I feel that is definitely an area for concern. But it's just a bit disappointing considering when you look at the overall game, how we played. But before I get into the second half, I've got to talk about Frank Lampard, who came on at half-time. It was really emotional. It was something that I didn't expect. Knew he was going to be coming on at half-time before the game. But was really surprised of how emotional it was. And Frank Lampard gave an amazing speech, talked about how much he valued the fans, how special he regarded Stamford Bridge and the Chelsea support. What a legend, what an icon at Stamford Bridge. And, for someone like me, my favourite player, just incredible. And, the admiration and respect he got from all areas of the crowd, from the Swansea fans as well, I think just shows how much of a legend he's going to be, going to go down as in the years to come. He is an icon at Stamford Bridge, and I don't think we're going to see many players like him in the future. I just don't. He is absolutely what a legend is, and I think it won't be long till we see a statue of him at Stamford Bridge. What an icon, what an emotional moment as well. Going in the second half, I really liked how we started the half. Hazard got a chance, saved by Fabianski. We looked to be going into that intensity again, but then there seemed to be this period where we didn't get the goal straight after half time, and there seemed to be this period of the game for about 10 minutes. It felt like Fabregas started, maybe because of tiredness, started to get away from the ball. We didn't see him controlling the game. We just seemed to lack ideas, which is weird for this Chelsea side, because mostly this Chelsea side, I did have confidence. I feel with this side that even at 1-1, I thought we're going to create chances. We definitely are, and I did have confidence that we'd eventually go on and win the game. But there was that moment where we were lacking ideas, and also just Swansea were looking like maybe they had a little bit of confidence to go up the other end and maybe get a goal. There was a penalty shout, a handball for Azpilicueta. I remember it in the game, but because I'm basically at the other end of the ground, I didn't, of course, see it that well. I know that pundits who've seen the game say it's a handball. Watching it back, it wasn't as clear-cut as I think people feel that it is, but I can see why Swansea feel sort of harshly done by. We got screwed against Swansea, if you remember, back in September. Andre Mariner, certain decisions in that game that led basically to a goal when Cahill basically got clattered, and so this time the rubber green went our way, and then a few minutes later, when it was looking like it could have become more stressful. Pedro, that man again, second time in a week he scored. Picks up the ball, runs at Swansea like he had been all day basically, takes a shot, and to be honest, as I was looking down at it, it looked like a good shot. It looked like Fabianski had it all day, and then suddenly the ball just goes through Fabianski. It's a goal, it's a clanger. It was a moment of fortune that we needed. And Pedro again, 11 goals now this season. He's on fire this season. You could even put him first or second best player this season. You can really make an argument for that because he has been outstanding this season. His technical ability, his goal scoring, he just leads from the front, and I love Pedro. I always thought he was going to come good. I know there was a lot of criticism for him at the back end of last season, and I thought, this is a player who I feel has got class. He's played at Barcelona. I've seen signs that he's going to do well, and Pedro was a match winner today, really, because that goal there changed the complexion of the game. For the rest of the game, basically, it was all about us just seeing it out, and then finally, from lovely bit of play from Hazard down on the wing. Has a nice play, cuts inside, finds Costa, who always scores against Swansea. 8 goals now, I believe, in 5 games. That is against Swansea. Incredible stats, really. And I just knew Diego would score, and especially his goal drought now in the Premier League. I think 4 games are over. Overall, very, very happy. As I said at the start of the video, when you consider teams that our rivals like Manchester City who aren't playing this weekend, they would have got a real boost if we would have dropped points. But we were able to show once again our class, our prowess in front of goal in that second half, and I just think it's just another massive step. It's just another game, and once again back to 11 points. That is, of course, with City with a game in hand. Also Arsenal as well have a game in hand, so that lead, of course, can be cut down. I know Spurs as well playing tomorrow, so they can cut down the lead to, I think, about 10. But that is 12 wins now in all competitions at Stamford Bridge, 10 in the league. Really has been the backbone of our title challenge, is that home form. We've made Stamford Bridge a fortress, and if we continue doing that, I think, we're going to have a really good end to the season. As well, some other shouts that I haven't picked up on. Kante, I thought, was excellent. Again, he's everywhere. What can you say about Kante? I know Claude Makelele was, of course, with Paul Clement on the Swansea bench, and I'm sure he would have been impressed. Really, you talk about like second coming of players. I think he is probably the closest to what Makelele was, and I'm sure he would appreciate it seeing Kante. Kante is a master in that role. There are times, I'm really being picky here, that I'd like to see him maybe have a little bit more in terms of forward passing or just giving the ball away, but you can't really complain for what an exceptional player he is. And yes, there's Fabregas, a goal, an assist, stats now as well. I think he has better stats in terms of being involved in goals than Mesut Ozil has, and he's played something like 1,200 minutes fewer in the league. I think that just proves to you how class of a player Cesc Fabregas is. And then moving on to next week away at West Ham, which is going to be a tough game Monday night. Just watch West Ham. They've had Antonio sent off, so that's going to be a big miss for them. But it's always going to be difficult. We did lose there, if you remember, in the EFL Cup. So it's not going to be easy. But another great win, another step. I'm not getting too carried away yet. It's still February. It's not March. It's not even April yet. But there still is a long way to go. A lot can happen. Injuries, twists and turns. But it's a big 3 points. And I'm happy. Chelsea have won again. Top of the league. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. You can follow me on Twitter at SonOfChelsea. Also follow all my other social media accounts. Add me on Snapchat. Follow me on Instagram. Also make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you again.